Imagine traveling from Beijing to Shanghai, normally a 5-hour drive, completed in just 30 minutes. No traffic, no turbulence, no delays. Just pure, futuristic speed. High-speed train sparkles. Today, China has shocked the world once again, unveiling a Hyperloop-style train that races at 1,000 km per hour inside a vacuum tunnel. This isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. For decades, scientists have dreamed of near-supersonic land travel. But the challenge has always been overcoming air resistance and friction, the two invisible enemies of speed. China's latest breakthrough just might have cracked the code. The train moves inside a vacuum-sealed pipeline, where most of the air is removed. With air resistance nearly eliminated, the train can glide effortlessly at speeds once thought impossible. Add to that magnetic levitation, maglev, technology, and you get a floating bullet, propelled forward without wheels, friction, or drag. At 1,000 km per hour, 621 miles per hour, this Hyperloop-style train isn't just fast, it's competing with airplanes. A journey that once took hours by car or train could soon be reduced to a fraction of the time. Why is China investing so heavily in this? Speed is power. Whoever masters ultra-fast land transport will reshape trade, tourism, and geopolitics. Imagine goods shipped across the country in under an hour, or millions of people moving between megacities faster than ever before. But there's a catch. Building and maintaining vacuum tubes across long distances is astronomically expensive. Safety concerns remain huge. What happens if there's a breach in the tube? Can it scale beyond test tracks into real-world nationwide networks? If successful, this technology won't just change China, it could transform the entire world of transportation. Imagine taking a Hyperloop from New York to Los Angeles in under an hour, or from London to Paris in just 15 minutes. The way we think about distance, borders, and even lifestyles could change forever. China's new 1,000 km per hour Hyperloop train is more than an engineering feat, it's a glimpse into the future. A future where speed, efficiency, and ambition collide. But beyond the jaw-dropping speed, what truly fascinates scientists is how this technology could rewrite the rules of global competition. Because make no mistake, transportation has always shaped the rise and fall of empires. Centuries ago, nations that mastered ships ruled the seas. Later, railroads and airplanes redefined economies and warfare. Now, China is betting that Hyperloop technology will be the next great leap, one that cements its role as the transportation superpower of the 21st century. The pipeline isn't just a steel tube. It's a masterpiece of engineering. Vacuum pumps constantly remove air, keeping pressure near zero. Inside, the train levitates on powerful superconducting magnets, floating silently as it surges forward. No friction. No noise. Just speed. China isn't investing billions just for bragging rights. This Hyperloop could revolutionize domestic travel, turning cities into interconnected megahubs. A person could live in Beijing, work in Shanghai, and have dinner in Shenzhen all in a single day. But beyond passengers, imagine freight. What happens when goods can move across thousands of kilometers in under an hour? That's not just convenience, that's economic dominance. Of course, China isn't the only player. Elon Musk first floated the Hyperloop idea years ago. The US, Europe, and even the Middle East have been exploring their own versions. But China, with its unmatched speed in infrastructure building, might just leap ahead before the rest can even catch up. But here lies the question no one can ignore: is it safe? What happens if a tube is breached? If the power fails? If an emergency occurs at 1,000 km per hour inside a vacuum? These are questions engineers are still racing to answer before the dream becomes reality. And yet, despite the dangers, the vision is irresistible. Picture this: it's the year 2050. Global Hyperloop networks crisscross the continents. People wake up in Paris, have lunch in Dubai, and finish their day in Hong Kong, all without ever boarding a plane. Entire lifestyles could change. Commuting across 500 miles may feel no different than today's subway ride. Airlines might struggle to compete, while small towns near Hyperloop hubs could explode into thriving megacities. Tourism, trade, even migration patterns, everything would be redefined. But here's where things get even more intriguing. Critics argue the Hyperloop is too ambitious, too dangerous, too expensive. They claim it's a political showpiece, not a practical solution. Some Western analysts even warn that China is using the Hyperloop race not just for transport, but for global influence. Imagine if China builds Hyperloop corridors across Asia, Africa, and Europe, locking nations into a transport web it controls. So the race isn't just about speed. It's about who controls the highways of tomorrow. Will it be China, with its futuristic vacuum tunnels? Will Elon Musk finally bring his Hyperloop vision to life? Or will another nation surprise the world with a breakthrough no one saw coming? And remember, every breakthrough comes with risk. Supersonic jets once promised to change travel forever, yet they vanished after the Concorde disaster. Will the Hyperloop suffer the same fate? Or will it become the next great revolution in human mobility? But here's the paradox. Every nation chasing the Hyperloop dream knows that the first to succeed will control a trillion-dollar industry. That's why governments, corporations, and investors are locked in a silent battle, a battle fought not with soldiers, but with engineers, scientists, and visionaries. Imagine if China perfects the system first. Overnight, its technology could replace commercial flights across Asia, reshape supply chains, and create a transportation monopoly. Air travel giants, Boeing, Airbus, even entire airline industries, could collapse under the pressure. And the shockwaves wouldn't stop there. Nations connected to China's Hyperloop could become economically dependent on its infrastructure. Trade routes would bend toward Beijing. Alliances would shift. Hyperloop stations could become the new strategic choke points of the 21st century, as important as seaports and oil pipelines are today. But beyond the politics and economics, there's a more personal story. For ordinary people, this technology could mean living in one city, working in another, and exploring the world with unimaginable freedom. The line between nations, cultures, even time zones could blur. Humanity could, quite literally, shrink the world. And yet, in every test tunnel and every prototype pod, one question still echoes: can the dream survive reality? Because speed is intoxicating, but at 1,000 kilometers per hour inside a fragile vacuum tube, even the smallest failure could be catastrophic. So here we stand, on the edge of a transportation revolution. The Hyperloop isn't just a train. It's a vision of speed, connection, and power that could redefine the very fabric of our world. If China succeeds, it will not only shatter the limits of travel but also reshape geopolitics, economics, and the way humanity moves across the planet. If it fails, the Hyperloop may join the list of brilliant dreams that fell victim to cost, risk, and reality. But whether you see it as a promise or a peril, one truth remains: the race has begun. And the future of transportation is hurtling toward us faster than ever before. So, what do you think? Will the Hyperloop revolutionize travel and replace airplanes, or will it remain a dazzling but impossible dream? But behind every glowing headline and dazzling test run lies a hidden battlefield, the race for control over the future. Because the Hyperloop is not just about moving people and goods faster, it's about who commands the arteries of tomorrow's global economy. Already, whispers emerge of rival projects being fast-tracked in secret labs. The US is quietly funding private Hyperloop ventures. The Middle East is exploring desert corridors that could connect Dubai to Riyadh in minutes. And in Europe, engineers dream of stitching the continent together with underground vacuum tunnels. Each project claims to be the future. Each believes it can outpace China. But only one will define the next century of travel. And here's the chilling thought: if Hyperloop technology matures, the nation that builds the first international network could hold the keys to global movement. Imagine visas, trade, even migration controlled not by airspace, but by Hyperloop corridors. Whoever owns the tracks, owns the future. But some experts warn that the technology may unleash unforeseen dangers. Not just accidents, but vulnerabilities. Could a Hyperloop tunnel be hacked? Could it become a new kind of weapon in an age where speed is everything? No one has the answers yet. And that uncertainty makes the Hyperloop not just an engineering marvel, but a gamble with consequences the world may not be ready to face. Z-Auto Tech. Where innovation meets the road, the future of mobility starts here, only on Z-Auto Tech. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about Elon Musk, Maxwell, Tesla, and the future of innovation. Until next time, keep imagining the impossible.